Can I beat Remnant 2 on Apocalypse using only Tormented Heart? Well, we're gonna find out, because guess what? I didn't talk a whole lot during this gameplay because I was focused on popping these hearts and not messing up my cooldowns with my invader skill. So in this case, the first boss we got was Primogenitor, and it wasn't bad by any means. It's kind of weak actually. It doesn't showcase it's being affected by any dots and whatnot, but it is, which is kind of weird. And the modifiers, the fixes were simply not a big deal. Spiteful and Drain, I have no idea what those really do. Drain, I assume, is like lifesteal, but it got handled with just swiftness. The next boss, took me a while to read the wacky affixes. And if you guys can't tell, I totally killed it without having to cheat. It has empathy. It's actually impossible. Nah, it's not impossible. That's not even fair at all, dude. I didn't even notice. The next boss, being Sha'Hala, meant I couldn't actually apply fire damage to him himself, but his hands could catch the heat though. For some reason, he can't be affected by fire, but his hands can. And when they're double stacked like that, free damage. Wait, we win. Let's go! And I got a tip on this. I didn't know you could break this. I tried for so long to try and firestorm through the wall. You can World's Edge through these walls in Labyrinth. And this is a late skip. I'm out here getting gooned down by minions. Oh my god. Try to angle that. You see that? Yeah. Oh. First try, as usual. You know what I'm saying? Too easy. Too easy. No one saw that. Now, I do want to showcase that I did use this build at any point in which damage was necessary. Speaking of damage, you'll do 0 on Legion unless you're hugging that wall. In my case, I'm doing Bupkis. But when I get close to that wall, get that close quarter contact, we hitting for some damage now. The dots are being applied. We're doing what we have to do. I was too close here, though. Is it not hitting it? It moved! The thing moved! I think I used 10 relics and they weren't hitting him at all. So I felt kind of smart on that one. Where'd he go? Oh, you cheeky rascal. It's winnable. GG. Along my travels, I was informed of one more skip. You can jump this ditch if you have Misty Step equipped as well as maxed out fitness. But I didn't read that last part, and instead I just jumped like a dent. Okay, I read the first part saying you can jump the middle, and I believed you. I didn't read the second part. How does it work? Okay, you do that, and then you do like that. Okay. The confidence was fire. Oh, dude, I had so much faith that that would work out. You could tell. The way I approached that was insane. Oh my god. Corruptor took me 11 minutes to kill. Not because I had multiple different fights. This is one single fight. It's because I chose the wrong way to tackle it. My first thoughts was to whittle away the minion here, and every single time the boss would get close, and I'd hopefully hit it with my AoE. That didn't happen. And instead, the boss would lose HP trying to revive the minion. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. I was trying to run away from those beams the entire game, by the way. It was stressful, to say the least. Where'd that guy even come from? Now, what I could have done this whole time was this. Get close to the boss, out the gate, and start using the relics. You could hit it the entire time. Yep, that entire time you could hit it from the ledge. I felt so bad. Now, Gewndil the Unburnt was a cakewalk. Sunken Witch would have been a much harder fight here, so I'm kind of glad I got this. You can just hide underneath these rafters. But Gewndil doesn't. She takes the angles, though. She gets the angles, and she tries to hit you with the bombs. Too easy. Too easy. Wait. Imagine she kills me with that. After Gewndil came another hard fight. The Red Prince. Brother is teleporting across the map with Regenerator. Where, oh where would I be? I was teleporting across the map. See? It was tragic. He knows. He understands. He just kept leaving. I did take advantage, full advantage of popping Relic with Invader and then dodging and leave a Cologne. And it made it so I didn't have to actually try that hard and dodge much. Those times where I did dodge like crazy, I just edited it out because... GG. GG! What it sounded like he said is not what I read, and also describes what I'm about to do here perfectly. I ran like a... Because in a moment, I'm getting chased by little crabby dudes, but you have more movement speed if you got at least 15% from the swiftness. And then the freaking boss is crawling and clawing in the ground. Yes, that's exactly right. And I'm waiting for my CDs the whole time. Trying to make sure I got that going on for myself, because you want to keep that invaded skill going to maintain your relic charges as much as you can. For sure. Listen, I'm going to wait right here for a while, okay? Yeah, for no reason. It wasn't for my cooldowns or nothing like that. I wouldn't do that. But when you first fight the Nightweaver, you have the luxury of waiting around. Otherwise, after you die your first time, if you kill her on first phase, you just instantly go to the next one. Well, in this case, she's just running around the house. And she's back again. Yes, who's back? Nightweaver. And she's trying to attack my minion. Gets smoked and rolled. This boss is... Trapper empathy? Oh my... There's no way. As an affix lover myself, I think they truly do bring a lot of joy to the game. And in this case, I didn't have to change my build. And instead, I could follow through the challenge entirely like I wanted to. Even on this fight as well. Yep. Awesome. He's got empathy! After vanquishing Venom using my natty Tormented Heart build and nothing else, because I would never do that, versus empathy, I then encountered Annihilation, a boss I wasn't quite sure how it would go, but I did know one thing. The bubbles would get mowed if I was close enough. And they did. I cleared the first phase after a while. Not as quick as it may look. Okay? Editing's crazy. And then I had to approach the next boss and get close. But I noticed one thing. Am I out of hearts? What happened? The game robbed me, bro. Also, ledge right here, by the way. What the... Yep. Good luck. Oh my god, that's unreal. So what happened in the first instance was when you go into the second phase and you have your invader skill active, the game doesn't care and kind of just erases it. So I lost my hearts even though the skill is active and the next phase should start. I should have time to press the button and get my relics back. That didn't happen. Also, goodbye bubbles. Freaking mode, bro. And that's one thing I gotta keep in mind. So there may be an instance in here where I throw my melee weapon. Actually, no, forget I said that. I didn't say that. I use only Tormented Heart. But this takes a while. Do keep in mind, though, this boss's tail, torso, and head are all hitboxes for the explosion of my Tormented Heart to hit and apply the burn debuff, as well as the almost, I think it's like, what, 1k crit from the explosion itself, which the burn damage is the main thing. I guess they're both good. Take it back, they're both good. And thank the Lord there's no empathy on this boss. I would lose my freaking marbles. I'll tell you what. What I'm trying to do my best here is, I guess when my invader skill's up so I can pop my relics and not waste them on the bubbles. Because when the bubbles get summoned, if you don't use a relic, you're risking it. There's a chance they just kill you. Because each bubble can one-shot you, I believe, with my current armor. You can always equip a heavier armor, but I didn't really want to. I wasn't really a fan. Alright. Alright, what? Oh my goodness, I showed that? I have to do that. Yeah. Cut the footage. Cut the VOD. So, I had to do that because of the skill cooldown like I mentioned earlier. Invader skill doesn't get tracked correctly. And here being mindful of the edge. I just got there! Yeah, I want to do some damage, bro. I legit just showed up. The party just started. And now I'm on cooldown just waiting. And I got killed by the bubbles. In hindsight, I could have used my Tormented Charge nonsense, but it's fine. That actually never gets old. It doesn't. Blowing those bubbles, that fast is kind of a good feeling. And I can't remember if this is where the boss goes AFK. It's where the boss goes AFK. This is not my fault. This is not my fault. I didn't cause this. And we're just going to go ahead and... really intense gameplay is happening. The boss is attacking me like crazy. I dodge everything. I'm the best. And we beat the game. Tormented Heart only. The last heart. Free. Easy. Skill. 3 hours and 22 minutes. Tormented Heart. In quotation marks only. I would have killed all the bosses that had empathy too. That's like the whack part. They were actually pretty easy. Before explaining the build, I must first give out some warnings. If you skip this part of the video, Santa's gonna know you didn't support your boy Doe. You'll get coal for Christmas. Be careful. Also, empathy bricks the build, so good luck with that one, Chief. RNG is a cruel mistress. We got Tormented Heart as the main focus of the build, to be wacky and as a challenge, I guess. And this creates an explosion in a small meter radius. Also has a faster use speed, which is nice quality of life. Elemental damage, skill cooldown reduction, and consumable use speed are my runes of choice. But Doe, it just makes an explosion. Why we have elemental damage? I'm glad you asked. We got the detonation trigger, and this creates a burning effect on enemies affected by explosions, which are our relic triggers. So that's a big part. We also are using Bandit Fanatic at the moment. Makes your statuses do way more damage than they should, because the shorter they last, the more damage they deal. And it also gives you a flat 25% extra damage on top of that, followed by a Red Ring of Death for even more stat effect damage. In this case, it's just under double damage. Then we got some cooldown reduction, which comes in many forms. I chose Burden Stargazer. I take damage when I pop my skills, but that's not a big deal because we heal with a relic anyway. If you don't have this, you can instead use Burden of the Rebel. As soon as I find it, it's on the list somewhere. Right there. You get 50% cooldown reduction as well, but you have a longer cast time for your relics, which is not exactly that ideal. You can also use Black Pawn Stamp. So you can have more cooldown reduction. You can change the rings out if you want to. My final ring is Singed Ring. And again, you can put cooldown reduction here or go to damage route and maybe use Burden of the Destroyer if you want to, which is right here for 15% damage. But Singed Ring is multiplicative, which is more than just the 15% additive damage. That's why I'm using this and not Burden. But you have many choices, go crazy. Now, the weapons aren't a big deal. It's more so the modifiers. So in this case, Corrupted Rune Pistol has a built-in modifier called Death Brand. It gives you 10% damage. I'm not going to be using that much. I wasn't using Maelstrom, but I think Maelstrom should be affected by the burn dot from your relic and your amulet. Could be wrong, though. So if not, go ahead and use Failsafe instead. Your melee weapon doesn't matter. And then for my primary weapon, I just have Creeping Mist and Harmonizer, because the mist will make it so folks take more damage from the status effects. I didn't want to take any modifiers that do damage, but ones that increase the damage of my relic or my statuses were completely fine in my book. Your armor is your choice. In my case, welding caps equipped, and my raggedy clothing, I want to get dirty, is also there. Now to explain the archetypes, Challenger is nice for two main reasons. Die Hard is a prime perk. You can die and get revived. 10-minute cooldown, so don't die more than once in a single fight. And then Close Quarters for 35% more damage, which would be pretty close, so we almost get that max damage every time we're popping the relic. And then we got Invader. This is the reason why I have so many relics. Invader's level 10 skill is called Reboot. Initiates a data backup of the caster's current health, stamina, relic charges, ammo, and negative status effects, which are stored for 30 seconds. So I'll show how it works and also explain how I'd use it. I'm gonna go ahead and pop my buffs, including the rune pistol thing, and then I'll maybe pop Bulwark, because why not? Finally, I pop Reboot. From there, I just want to spam my relics. And just for, I guess, example's sake, I'll use every single one. Your goal is to try and get every single one off. If you can't, that's fine, but just be wary of the cooldown or duration of the timer on the bottom. That purple thing, if it goes away and you don't reactivate it like this, you will not get back your relics. Happened me a couple times, but just make sure you reactivate it. If you hear a freaking ding, 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 activate it. I think you can press it even mid-dodge and you're fine. For my traits, I had Flashcaster, Swiftness, 8 points in Triage, Vigor maxed out, Spirit, Expertise, Amplitude, Bark Skin, and Glutton at the very bottom. This will make it so your relic use speed is faster, because it is technically a consumable. The last thing I suggest is a Xenoplasm Tonic. I know it's a tonic that costs 500 scrap, but you can make it last almost 3 hours. Go ahead and equip Alchemist. So whatever slot, doesn't matter. And then you want to go to your relic and put on consumable use duration, 20%. And finally, put on the Ring of the Castaway. And if you want to get real fancy, you can maybe get lucky here. Pop All-Seeing Eye, and sometimes it gives you a relic. What is it? Oh, so close. It can increase your consumable duration as well. But regardless, if we go ahead and pop that, it gives you 162 minutes. I already did. I'm at 158 minutes. That is almost 3 hours of a tonic that costs 500 scrap. That gives you 10% cooldown reduction, and it's nice to have.